Good evening, everyone, to the Honorable our facilitator and evaluator lecturers. So we are from small group discussion B7. In this occasion, we would like to present our student project about how medical students adapt to the era of ubiquitous information. So here's the identity of our SGD, consists of 12 members. Okay, let's just start from the introduction on the first part.
Okay, my name is Putu Nita Aristania Dewi. I will explain about the background of this topic. Information literacy is a fundamental quality needed for survival and improvement in this information era. In education practice, most universities still depend heavily on literature review and courses. While the education concepts, content and ways of information literacy education fail to fit the ubiquitous knowledge environment. Information literacy education in this new age should follow a path of ubiquitous learning. Ubiquitous information literacy education is a concept deriving from the concept like ubiquitous knowledge environment, ubiquitous service in libraries, and ubiquitous learning. It puts forward ubiquitous requirements for the time, location, content, and skills of information literacy education. Learners need to adapt into nowadays digital world in their learning because as they be a doctor, there will be change on how they encounter patients. Artificial intelligence will reduce the efforts required by physicians to interpret digital data and improve their ability to establish a diagnosis and prognosis. Therefore, medical education must evolve because future physicians will encounter patients in a quite different healthcare context from today. Ubiquitous and digital healthcare system allow both physicians and patients to access biomedical information easily. Exponentially expanding medical knowledge requires physicians not to recall, but to update what they know and select the right information from surplus of options. The non-analytical humanistic aspect of medicine should emphasize because it is hard to replace it with technology. That's all about background. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Daniella Vanessa Callista. Now we are moving to the objective. So the objective of the student project is first is to know what is era of ubiquitous information for medical students. Because as we know today, information sources can be accessed anywhere and anytime. The second is to know what is the advantage of ubiquitous information for medical students. As medical students, we must be able to maximize this advantage in order to help our learning skills and to enrich our insights as a proficients in a world of work later. Next is to know why and how medical students should adapt in the era of ubiquitous information. Considering the current technological advance and medical information that is always updated every second around the world so that we are not left behind. That's all I can tell you. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Bertrand Maylenzky Wijaya. I'm going to explain the benefits of our student project. First, the benefit for medical students is that they can improve their social skill and knowledge in order to adapt to this era of ubiquitous information. Social skill is an essential ability that medical students need to survive and success. Strong social skills also can facilitate interprofessional collaboration in today's workplace, especially in ubiquitous information era. Second, the benefit for the patient and general public is that they can improve their knowledge and lessen misinformation between patients or public and medical personnel, which can reduce rate of complaints and malpractice claims. Also, can heighten perceptions by patients that they are being supported by their medical personnel. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Indah Mutia Chandra. Based on the objective, there are a few core problems we would like to point out as the main discussion of our student project, such as what is era of ubiquitous information for medical students, including the elucidation of medical students itself, as well as the era of ubiquitous information. What are the advantages of ubiquitous information for medical students, or the outcome of omnipresent information? Why should medical students adapt in the era of ubiquitous information? The reason is essential for us to adapt to this era. How do medical students adapt in the era of ubiquitous information? How can we, as medical students, adjust to this change? That's all. Thank you.
Okay, now we are moving on in the chapter 2 discussion. My name is Luh Wina Saraswati. Now I will explain about the definition of a medical student. Medical student consists of two words, that's medical and a student. Basically, medical is a science because it follows scientific principle or rules, both from the aspect of epistemology, ontology, and axiology. If we see from the aspect of epistemology, medicine is a science that is aimed at treating the sick or healthy people, but is not just taking care of it normally. There is a specific knowledge that can be obtained through it. From the aspect of ontology, medicine is an integral part of health service, which include comprehensive biopsychosocial spiritual aspect aimed at individuals, families, or communities who are healthy or ill concerning the human life cycle. If we see from the word student, students can be defined as someone who is in the process of studying in college, such as academics, polytechnics, high schools, institutes, and universities. Students are considered to have a high level of intellectuality, intelligent in thinking, and planning in action. Critical thinking, acting quickly, and appropriately are traits that tend to stick with each student, which is the principle that complements each other. From the definition above, we can conclude that medical students are students who are studying health science. Next, my friend will explain about the ubiquitous information. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Gusti Ngurah Ariestha Satya. Now I will explain about ubiquitous information. Ubiquitous is a term synonym to everywhere, meaning something exists universally at the same time. Information itself is a wide term explaining fact, provide or learn about something or someone. In the era where information is available globally and easily got from the various websites, we're starting a new step in digital learning called ubiquitous learning that is based on ubiquitous computing or computer adapt life sequence. The widespread information, although has many benefits, it also creates both practical and theoretical problems. There is a lot of inaccurate information that needs to be straightened out to prevent incorrect action. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
My name is Aurel. I will explain about changes that happen because of digitalization. There are 5 changes that happen because of digitalization. First is more accurate and faster treatment. Second is gaining information. It will easier to gaining information because of digitalization. How people deliver health care, more digitalized learning, and increase efficiency of treatment. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Janice. So today I'm going to talk about widespread of information. As technologies are getting more and more advanced and widespread of information are getting more global at the moment, there are some pros and cons as a result of widespread of information. So let's start with the pros first. So here, widespread of information may lead readers to receive vast amount of information, as well as fast spreading information. Vast amount here means readers can get any information from any sources and can always be up to date about the latest information without waiting for such a long time. Secondly, widespread of information can let people share each other's thought online. Readers can be more open and can clarify whether their thought is right or not. Besides, They can also gain information from other readers that share their thoughts. On the other hand, widespread of information might bring some disadvantages, such as inaccurate information online that might lead people to get wrong thought, and these need to be straightened out to prevent incorrect actions that readers might do, especially in medical field. Other problems that might come out is that widespread of information somehow may bring out hoaxes information that creates theoretical and practical problems. All of these problems need to be prevented, especially in medical fields, which information is very crucial parts in medical field. That's all. Thank you.
Greetings, I'm Wiweka Aryaweda, and together we're going to learn what to do when encountering wrong information. The first step is a preemptive one. Before consuming information, it is wise to make sure that the information being consumed is right. This can be done by briefly cross-checking the new information with old ones at hand. The second one takes place after realizing that some information being consumed is wrong. The key is to make sure that it doesn't happen again in the future. Be more critical when looking for information, especially medical ones. A general rule is to check the credibility of sources of information before consuming them. By doing these steps, we can avoid being misled by wrong information. The presentation will be continued by my colleagues. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Adifa Buana Putra Pratama, and I'm here to explain why adaptation is needed in the era of ubiquitous information. The first reason is knowledge is not a static object. We all know that in the process of learning, the target is always moving. So we as a medical student have to constantly pursue it. The second reason is finding information itself isn't a difficult task. We all know that internet provides appropriate sources from all around the world, but we have to make sure the information is valid information. The third reason is there is electronic health record. The integration of artificial intelligence and medical knowledge through data provided by electronic health record is predicted to drive personalized medicine and improve healthcare quality. So, what can be done to adapt to the era of ubiquitous information? So we as a medical student have to learn adequate skills and tools for receiving information in this era of ubiquitous information. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Meidy Febriyanti. I will explain about applying education methods. The first method is looking for new teaching methods, such as problem learning, evidence-based learning. The second one is we must learn to interact with patients and cooperate with healthcare professionals in their clinical practice to ensure patient safety. Medical students can start learning with real clinical case discussion, which consists of the patient's family, health professionals, and others. This can improve the communication skills of medical students with patients and their families. It can also help medical students appreciate and understand the complexities of medical and patient ethics. The third one is improving attitude towards patients. We can do this by studying and dealing with real cases in everyday life and analyzing cases while studying as medical students. The fourth one is serve society. We need to meet the needs of community and interacting with patients from diverse backgrounds. We do this so that preclinical students could begin to learn about complex health problems, deal directly with patients, and interview related community leaders. It also helps preclinical students to identify the barriers created by Indonesia's lack of health literacy. And the last one is using technological advance. We can access learning material from various sources and public journals. It makes it possible to expand learning resources about health in different cultural environments. And then we can interact with fellow faculty and share knowledge with other medical students. That's all about applying adaptation methods. The next one is explained by my colleague.
Okay, my name is Ananda Eka Raharja, and this is the chapter 3, the conclusion. As medical students, we must be able to adapt to this ubiquitous information era to facilitate our role in the medical world. But we must be careful in accessing information in this era because of many invalid issues that spread on the internet. As medical students, we have to know about the newest medical information around the world with the valid data from online journals and electronic books. Regardless of the various good and bad influences in this ubiquitous era, medical students must adapt so that we can provide correct information to the public as responsible health workers. Okay, next, this is the bibliography. Well, that's our presentation about the student project from SGD B7. I would like to apologize if there is a mistake from us. And that's all. Thank you.